Brazen and damaging. How a judge describes the actions of a Lakeshore massage therapist now serving prison time for sexual assault. Only days after its long-awaited opening, why some truckers are banned from using the new Gordie Howe Bridge under threat of discipline. And doom scrolling defeated.
The idea really came to mind 2 years ago when I wanted a healthier experience on social media.
The new social media idea flipping the script on Screen Time.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. A Lakeshore massage therapist is now behind bars serving time for 7 counts of sexual assault. And the court has also dismissed Jeffrey Young's plea to stay off the sex offender registry. Joining me now with our top story tonight, Michelle Molesky.
Stefanie, 63-year-old Jeffrey Young was found guilty in December to 7 counts of sexual assault and 1 count of mischief. The court found he repeatedly breached his position of trust when he inappropriately touched his female clients. Justice Scott Pratt didn't mince words. The assaults perpetrated on the victims were brazen and damaging. Pratt previously found Jeffrey Young guilty of 7 counts of sexual assault against 4 female victims. The judge says Young exploited the power imbalance between a massage therapist and a patient when he inappropriately touched the women's breasts and vaginal areas. That trust made them overlook what was happening and, in some cases, continue seeing the offender despite their better judgment, the judge wrote in his July 29th decision. Young had begged the court to serve his punishment on house arrest with an ankle monitor, and he didn't believe his crimes warranted going on the sex offender registry. Justice Pratt disagreed. I find these offenses reveal a pattern of behavior that shows an increased risk of future sexual offending. Young's name will be on the sex offender registry for life, and he was then sentenced to 3 years in prison to reflect society's need for protection and the court's respect for victims of sexual assault. I reject the offender's submission that he should be viewed more generously as he was, in his words, only a registered massage therapist. Jeffrey Young was also convicted of 1 count of mischief for going into the backyard of one of the assault victims and damaging a tree on her property. He was acquitted by the court, however, on 2 other allegations of sexual assault, while a 3rd was stayed by the court. Stefanie.
Okay, Michelle, thank you for this.
You're welcome.
In other news, U.S. Customs and Border Protection says a Mexican national was apprehended at the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel on July 19th. According to CBP officials, official Marty Raybon, officials also seized drug paraphernalia during the arrest. Authorities say the individual had entered the United States multiple times without inspection, nor had he been deported. CBP says the person is now in removal proceedings and faces federal prosecution. Windsor police are looking for a woman after a shoplifting incident turned violent at a convenience store on Wyandotte Street East. Investigators say just before 7 Tuesday morning, the suspect allegedly concealed an item in a backpack and tried to leave without paying. When an employee intervened, police say the worker was scratched and bitten before the suspect fled with the stolen item. The suspect is described as a white woman with short blonde hair, wearing a gray and black long-sleeved shirt, black tights, pink flip-flops, and carrying a blue backpack. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Windsor Police Major Crimes Unit. If you're heading out for the civic holiday long weekend, expect to see more provincial police officers patrolling highways across the West region. The campaign will focus on speeding, impaired and distracted driving, seatbelt use, and enforcing the Move Over law. During last year's long weekend campaign, officers laid more than 1,400 charges, including 625 for speeding, 47 for impaired driving, and 19 for failing to move over for emergency vehicles. And if you're traveling through Leamington this weekend, be prepared for road closures, detours, and heavier than normal traffic as thousands of motorcycle riders roll into town for Hogs for Hospice. OPP say you can expect expect temporary road closures from Friday through Sunday around Seacliff Park. More than 1,500 motorcycles are expected to take part in Saturday's charity ride, which begins around 10:30 and travels to Point Pelee before stopping in Wheatley and returning to Leamington. Police are urging drivers to be patient, watch their blind spots, and remember, look twice, save a life. The annual event raises money for the Hospice of Erie Shores and has generated more than $6 million since 2016. The Windsor-Essex County Health Unit is urging residents to take extra precautions if they're traveling to Michigan following a sharp rise in cases of cyclosporiasis. So far this year, Windsor-Essex has confirmed 24 cases, well above the usual annual average of just 3. Health officials say many of those cases are linked to recent travel across the border. The warning comes as Michigan investigates a major outbreak with more than 10,700 reported cases. Lettuce and salad greens are believed to be the possible source, although the investigation is still ongoing. The health unit recommends travelers wash fresh produce thoroughly, consider eating cooked vegetables instead, and avoid prepackaged salad mixes when possible. Anyone who develops prolonged diarrhea, stomach cramps, or other gastrointestinal symptoms after traveling should contact a healthcare provider. Let's take a break now. CTV weather specialist Rita Ismail joins me now for a first look at the weather from the Weather Center tonight. Rita.
Stefanie, the clouds are starting to roll in as we head into the weekend. We are tracking a big area of moisture just in time for this holiday long weekend. Unfortunately, that means rain showers and thunderstorms possible both Saturday and Sunday. We say goodbye to the area of high pressure, which brought all that sunshine. And then we do monitor this low pressure system. Now, along the warm front boundaries, our temperatures are going to climb into the weekend. We're looking at flirting with 30 degrees, feeling about 37 tomorrow. And that could mean as that cold front swings through, we'll be under some heavy rainfall and embedded thunderstorms. I'll walk you through the timing coming up a little later. Stefanie?
The Gordie Howe International Bridge was built to transform the flow of commercial traffic between Windsor and Detroit. But just days after it opened, some Stellantis truck drivers are being told to stay off of it or risk discipline. CTV's Sanjay Maru joins us now. And Sanjay, why would a driver be punished for using a brand new legal border crossing?
And Stefanie, what this boils down to is an issue surrounding money, not necessarily an issue with the Gordie Howe Bridge itself. This all starts with a post on a Facebook page used to share information with UAW Local 212's FCA transport members. The post telling drivers operating company semi-trucks not to use the Gordie Howe International Bridge or risk discipline. Now, comments were disabled, citing the political nature of the discussion before the post was taken down altogether. However, CTV did get a screenshot of that post before that happened. UAW Local 212 represents drivers with FCA Transport, Stellantis' in-house trucking operation in the United States. The dispute does not involve workers inside the Windsor assembly plant, and it is not stopping parts or vehicles from reaching Windsor. Instead, it comes down to which bridge company trucks use to cross the border. The union says FCA Transport currently pays the Ambassador Bridge a flat monthly fee of $160,000, regardless of the number of crossings. It claims the company previously paid more than $400,000 a month under a per-crossing arrangement. Now, CTV News has not independently verified those figures, but the union argues that switching trucks to the Gordie Howe International Bridge would mean Stellantis would have to pay those tolls on top of its existing Ambassador Bridge agreement. A union notice says the current contract requires 60 days notice to end, and until that happens, the union says drivers could face discipline for using the new crossing. The union also raising concerns about possible customs issues, but a U.S. Customs and Border Protection official tells CTV News those would not arise. They say commercial carriers submit electronic manifests before arriving at the border, and those documents identify the port of entry, the region, not the specific bridge. Both the Ambassador and Gordie Howe International bridges fall under the Port of Detroit. CBP says using a different bridge would typically be corrected at the primary inspection booth and would not automatically trigger penalties or a secondary inspection. From the agency's perspective, this appears to be an internal company matter, not a customs restriction. Meanwhile, Stellantis says it plans to use the Gordie Howe International Bridge, but it has not said whether the 60-day notice period has begun. And the automaker would also not address the union's warning about driver discipline. So the Gordie Howe Bridge again is open, but for some drivers, an existing agreement appears to be keeping them on the Ambassador Bridge, at least for now. Stefanie.
Okay, Sanjay Maru, thank you for this. Unionized workers at Nexstar Energy in Windsor will vote next week on a new tentative contract. Unifor Local 444 says members will cast their ballots electronically on Thursday, August 6th. Details of the proposed agreement will be presented to workers during Zoom meetings scheduled for 9 a.m. and 6:45 in the evening. The union announced earlier this week that a tentative deal had been reached with the company, but no details have been released publicly. Local 444 represents around 800 employees at the battery manufacturing facility. The current one-year agreement ratified last July included a 5% wage increase, lump sum payments, and pension improvements. Windsor families could soon have more childcare options after City Council approved a rezoning application for Delta Chi Early Childhood Centers to expand into Walkerville. The new center will be located at 1785 Turner Road, just off of Walker Road, where the company plans to renovate a vacant building into a licensed childcare facility. Plans include 6 classrooms, teaching spaces, and an outdoor play area, creating room for about 88 children from birth to age 6. Along with 18 full-time staff. If all goes according to plan, the daycare will open in November, becoming Delta Chi's 13th location. The project is backed by Canada-wide early learning and childcare funding, but there is a deadline. Construction and licensing must be completed before the funding expires at the end of 2026. So this does take us to our question of the day. Do you have kids in daycare? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you plan to walk, run, or cycle over the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Out of almost 1,000 votes, 93% say no. Now, today marks the beginning of Pride Fest in Windsor, a 10-day festival of events.
Flag raising is my favorite because it's so moving.
The Pride flag will fly at Windsor City Hall until August 10th. This year's festival includes a dinner, family bowling event, bingo, Run for Rocky, and will conclude on Sunday, August 9th with the Pride Parade. That starts at 11 o'clock at Market Square and will run down Ottawa Street to Lansbury Park. You'll find a link to the full event schedule on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca.
This year's theme is Show Your Colors, so we're bringing every facet of our community together to just celebrate and to feel safe and to be yourself, and all different age groups. A majority of the events are free, so there aren't many barriers to come out and just enjoy.
Meantime, Windsor is marking Emancipation Day with a new monument honoring the history, resilience, and contributions of the Black community. The designs were unveiled in April of this year. The ceremony at Jackson Park will include a ribbon cutting, the unveiling of 3 murals by artist Dennis K. Smith, and interpretive panels highlighting the stories behind emancipation. The celebration begins with a ceremonial parade through Jackson Park, followed by music, poetry, performances, food vendors, and community booths. The event is part of a larger Emancipation Jubilee weekend in Windsor, Essex, commemorating the ceremony of the Slavery Abolition Act. Good news for beachgoers this weekend. All of the local beaches are open, and I don't even remember having to say that before. E. coli levels at the 7 beaches in Essex County are all within safe limits. Sandpoint Beach, however, remains closed to swimmers by the city for safety reasons. The town of Tecumseh is turning over responsibility for its Snow Angels program to another organization. Earlier this week, Town Council voted to turn over the reins to the Community Support Center of Essex County after staff cited ongoing challenges recruiting and retaining volunteers. The Community Support Center already operates similar Snow Angel programs in Essex and Lakeshore. The volunteer program matches seniors and residents with physical disabilities with other community members who can help clear snow from their driveways and walkways during the winter months. Still ahead, as the clock ticks down at WestJet, a travel nightmare that cost one family $1,500, now serving as a warning for other passengers. And $1 billion battle could shake up the world's biggest soccer tournament. Coming up, why Europe is threatening a World Cup boycott. WestJet has started grounding jets ahead of a possible flight attendant strike on Sunday. The airline has not said how many flights have been canceled so far, but it is standard practice for airlines to wind down flight schedules so that planes and crews are not left scrambling to return if there is a strike. If a deal isn't reached by Sunday, hundreds of flights will be canceled during the long weekend. Customers with a ticket for a flight that is canceled due to a strike are eligible for refunds. CTV's Kamil Karamali now with one family's cautionary tale and what you need to hear.
If this sight of WestJet flight attendants threatening to strike looks familiar, that's because it probably reminds you of this. Air Canada flight attendants walking off the job last summer, grounding thousands of planes, leaving passengers who say they're still waiting for compensation from the airline nearly a year later.
It's frustrating and upsetting.
One of those is this Toronto couple who say they're out $1,500 after they canceled their Air Canada flight to Miami.
It was one of the situations where we got so angry we actually just had to laugh about how stupid this was.
The two were worried they would miss their cruise departing from Florida. Not wanting to take a chance, they dropped the Air Canada flight, instead booking a flight with a different carrier, flying out from Cleveland, paying extra for hotels and parking. They say Air Canada eventually ended up canceling their flight anyway on the day they were supposed to take off.
We had canceled our flights. And we explained to them, we cancel our flights because you're canceling flights today, but we needed to be able to get to our cruise. Even if we didn't cancel our flight, you canceled our flight.
But passenger rights advocates say that's the wrong call.
They are really at Air Canada's mercy. They have no rights whatsoever.
Arguing passengers' rights apply only when the airline cancels the flight, not when a passenger does.
Wait until your flight is canceled. Give them a chance to rebook you, and if they fail to do so or tell you we don't have any seats, then buy yourself a ticket on a different airline.
For now, a lesson learned for this couple who have this message for passengers who may be facing the same situation with WestJet's strike now looming.
Keep all their seats. Make sure you email them right away, the customer representative. If they say no, just keep emailing back.
Air Canada says it has given the couple credits for the canceled booking, which it says they've already used, but will not be reimbursing them for the extra expenses like hotel and parking costs. Kamil Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
A major update now to a precedent-setting legal battle we first told you about in 2023. Health Canada will allow gay and bisexual men in this country to donate to sperm banks. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more now on the significance.
Only after this gay man launched a constitutional challenge is Health Canada eliminating barriers that prevented gay and bisexual men from donating to this country's much-in-need sperm banks.
I'm very happy that things turns out this way.
Before coming out, Aziz donated to a Toronto sperm bank, helping a lesbian couple grow their family. But after learning federal policy deemed him unsuitable just because of his sexual orientation, he decided to fight back.
Why I started doing this is really the discrimination.
For decades, Canada banned all gay and bisexual men from ever donating to sperm banks. The rules changed in 2020, allowing it if they'd been abstinent for 3 months. Aziz took the government to court in 2023, and a year later, Health Canada pivoted to behavior-based screening. But his legal team argued that change just replaced an explicit ban with an implicit one, and so they fought on. And just as they were feeling confident in the case they'd be presenting at a pending hearing, the Federal Health Agency declared it was updating its donor testing requirements again.
This change represents an important and precedent-setting step.
Alongside new advanced infectious disease testing, as of this fall, Health Canada is eliminating those questions that precluded gay and bisexual men from donating if they'd had more than one or a new sexual partner in the last 3 months.
Quarantine period and then the subsequent testing is absolutely sufficient for the safety of that sperm to be used in donation.
Affidavits filed by experts in the case confirmed the donor procedures already in place are more than enough to protect against risk, including the transmission of HIV.
This policy change makes me very happy because we want to see policy align with science.
LGBTQ2S+ advocates say they're relieved and a little frustrated that it took this long for the government to right a wrong that was based on outdated data and beliefs.
I'm also really filled with so much gratitude towards Aziz for tirelessly fighting this issue.
CTV News requested an interview with Federal Health Minister Marjorie Michel, but she was not available. In a statement, her office said the government, quote, supports changes that make sperm donation safer and more inclusive, while supporting continued public confidence in the donation process. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
There is growing opposition to FIFA's controversial plan to sell stakes in the World Cup to private investors. The Asian Football Confederation says it stands in solidarity with the soccer governing bodies of both Europe and North America in blasting the move. CTV's Joy Malbin now on the growing controversy and what could come next.
After the world celebrated the passion of football, FIFA is now in a fight over money and control. President Gianni Infantino's plan to sell World Cup profits to private investors is facing a major backlash. His closest advisor, Carlos Cordeiro, resigned in protest, calling it a bad deal for football. A second FIFA official, Chief Operating Officer Kevin Lamour, says staff were deceived and members never consulted. And Europe's governing soccer body, UEFA, declared the World Cup is not for sale. All 55 member nations voted unanimously to boycott FIFA competition until the plan is pulled.
Nobody wants to boycott any game of football, never mind a World Cup game. But we've been pushed into this by a proposal that was so damaging it could have dismantled the whole infrastructure of the game.
Also raising red flags, potential lead investor Joshua Kushner, younger brother of Jared, President Donald Trump's son-in-law and close advisor.
Did FIFA or Mr. Infantino speak to you about their proposal to sell a stake in the World Cup? No, I never spoke to him.
If Gianni pushes ahead, critics argue that commercializing the World Cup will tarnish the beautiful game.
This is another example of terrible governance within FIFA, but I think this time Infantino and FIFA have gone a step too far.
Facing a revolt and a deadline of September 19th, FIFA's president is offering members a payout of $20 million if they agree to bring private investors into World Cup business. Joy Malbin, CTV News, Washington.
A young man in Quebec has created a new social media app with the goal of limiting people's exposure to social media. He says his creation is about making going online healthier. CTV's Sweeta Rassi reports.
Alexi Bosse is the one-man team behind Livio, a social media app built to give your thumb a break.
The idea really came to mind 2 years ago when I wanted a healthier experience on social media.
He says he became addicted to doom scrolling, spending hours a day on social media. The 21-year-old knew he had to cut back, but even that was hard. So with the help of AI, he taught himself how to code. He started to work on the app in the beginning of 2026, and in May, he finally launched it. No algorithms, no ads, and when you get to the end of the feed, you get this message.
You've seen it all, the rest is offline.
A 2026 report from Statistics Canada says screen time recommendation is set at no more than 2 hours a day, but nearly 40% of young people don't follow it.
Honestly, I don't know. I do spend a lot, especially during the summer. Per day? Per day. Like 3-4 hours?
I kind of doom scroll a lot.
Tech analyst Carmi Levy says some social media apps are no longer about community. It's about making money.
It's about algorithms deciding what you see, what you're most likely to want to see next. And it's really software ensuring that you stay on the platform for as long as possible.
The UCAM business student says he's not doing it for the money. He adds his app is getting a lot of traction. In the App Store, it jumped up to 9th place in top downloads for social media.
Oh, number 9. Wow.
So you went up.
Wow. I'm really surprised.
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I think it really shows how people want to make a change. We can take matter into our own hands and really have a change on the world.
An app that reminds users it's okay to go offline. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
In Toronto, the TSX lost 280 points. In New York, the Dow gained 277, the Nasdaq added 252. The Canadian dollar dropped 0.08 of a cent today. Gold fell almost $54 an ounce, and oil gained $1.08 a barrel. A bronzed glow is back in style, but a popular tanning trend could be putting your health at risk. The warnings doctors want you to hear. That's when we return.
Tonight's weather snapshot sent in from our viewer Mark Hewer, who took this beautiful photo of the moon behind the Gordie Howe Bridge. Thanks so much for sharing, Mark. As we head into over Windsor, Essex, we are tracking a weather maker that will unfortunately bring instability in the forecast for the weekend. Mainly cloudy on Saturday, warm and humid, so we could see some pop-up thunderstorms. That probability increases Sunday as that cold front swings through. We'll be in and out of rain early Sunday morning into the afternoon.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
A look at a humid afternoon. Rita Ismail joins us again for an extended look at the forecast. And Rita, the long weekend is here.
It certainly is, Stefanie, and you're right. Humid, hot today, 31 degrees, but feeling much warmer with that humidity in the air mass today. We had a lot of sunshine, high pressure in place. Normal this time of year, 28, the record 36, but we didn't quite get there. That was set back in 1999. Our sunset tonight at 8:52, and we're holding on to that warmth this evening and that humidity overnight as well. We did have some pop-up thunderstorms to the northeast of us, but for the most part of the day today, we had mainly sunny skies, and that cloud cover starting to increase. As we zoom out, you can see why. We have this big area of low pressure, and it is going to slowly move in just in time for the long weekend, unfortunately, and it will push out the area of high pressure that brought us all the sunshine the last couple of days. We do have this cold front swinging through tomorrow into Sunday, and as we put that into motion, you could see lots of cloud cover for your Saturday morning. It won't be until later in the day where we'll dip into rainfall, some embedded thunderstorm activity depending on where you are Saturday night, and then really intensifying overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. You can see the deeper yellows and oranges indicating that severe weather is possible heading into Sunday morning. The bulk of the system, though, pushes out before 5 p.m. around supper hour on Sunday, making way to a nice mix of sun and cloud for holiday Monday, but unfortunately, we will be dealing with that instability for the next 24 to 48 hours. Humidity building tomorrow, 22 degrees right off the hop in the morning, climbing to 27. The storm risk increases with that unstable air mass. And again, the chance of showers is there Saturday, but the probability on the lower end. Your 7-day forecast is brought to you by EnerCare, experts at home. 31 the daytime high tomorrow with the humidity feeling close to 38. That shower chance is there. Sunday, mostly cloudy, in and out of showers. Storm risk certainly there as well. Monday, nice mix of sun and cloud. That icon is not correct. 26 degrees. and then improving on Tuesday with lots of sunshine. Nice mix of sun and cloud Wednesday and Thursday, and then mainly sunny conditions to close off next week. There's a slight chance for some moisture returning on Thursday, but overall, not a bad forecast once we get through the long weekend. Stefanie?
Tanning is making a comeback on social media, but health experts warn the risks haven't changed. Doctors say young adults are increasingly embracing tanning, fueled by online trends that promote a bronzed look. But tanning beds can emit more than 10 times the ultraviolet radiation of the sun, damaging skin cells and significantly increasing the risk of melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer. Experts stress there's no such thing as a safe tan and say sunscreen, protective clothing, and self-tanning products are much safer alternatives. A 30-year-old Indigenous woman with stage 3 colon cancer is on a mission to raise awareness after she says her symptoms were largely ignored by medical professionals. CTV's Abigail Beeman spoke to the young mother about what she says needs to change.
After 2 days, a nurse comes and disconnects the bag from me.
Jillian Niles shows us the realities of chemotherapy, part of a determined quest to prevent others from sitting in this hospital bed.
Numerous doctor's appointments saying, like, listen, there's something wrong. I don't feel good, and I'm having trouble going to the washroom. It's irregular. The blood in my stool is concerning, and they just kept sweeping it under the rug as, oh, it's hemorrhoids.
Niles suffered debilitating pain for 3.5 years, begging to be heard, she says, before a doctor finally ordered further tests.
Then they found my cancer, but they found it at stage 3.
Incensed it wasn't caught sooner, despite detailing symptoms and telling doctors her grandmother died of colon cancer. As an Indigenous woman, she says she was caught up in stigma.
They were very happy to say, okay, you're in pain, let me give you this medication. But at the same time, I was saying, no, I don't want the pain pills. I want answers.
Both incidence rates and mortality from colorectal cancer has increased in our Indigenous Inuit Métis populations, which is kind of alarming.
Radiation oncologist Mark Godet says that's true across all age cohorts. In general, colon cancer rates are on the rise for Canadians younger than 50. Niles wants screening ages lowered further. She is just 39. And of all of the parts of her life she's grieving, she can't work or volunteer. The hardest is being less hands-on with her 3-year-old son, Jack.
It's very unfair because I want to be the best mom I can be in the world. So hopefully I'll make that up to him next year and for the rest of his life.
In the meantime, she's grateful for family, including her twin sister.
I believe in you. Okay, good.
And the help of nurse Diego Caesar with the Ottawa Hospital's Indigenous Cancer Program.
A later diagnosis, having to go through multiple avenues to get an answer, feeling unheard. I think that is a really common theme for everybody who's going through healthcare right now, but especially Indigenous people.
Niles hopes sharing her story will encourage others to self-advocate.
I want to really spread that awareness with everybody that you have the power to ask for help.
Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
I almost started crying when I saw the price of meat.
Oh, striking a chord with Ontarians coming up. A musician turns a grocery store sticker shock into a catchy protest song. As rising grocery prices continue to put pressure on household budgets, a Kitchener man has turned the frustration into an earworm. CTV's Alexander Hollick has the details.
But every time I visit my local grocery store, every week the prices are up a little more.
It's a feeling many shoppers know all too well. Sticker shock at the grocery store, part of the routine, as food prices continue to climb.
I felt like, something needed to be done, so I wrote a song all about food inflation.
I almost started crying when I saw the price of meat.
Kevin Westfall is a Kitchener musician, known for his comedic, tongue-in-cheek tunes tackling real issues.
There's so many people right now that need help, And I couldn't be silent. I had to write a song to try and help the people and just shed some light on what's going on.
There's something funny going on at the grocery store.
The food inflation blues comes from a conversation Westfall had with a store manager who blamed soaring costs on climate change, tariffs, and wage increases. And while the musician says that could be true, he's also noticed retailers raking in profits.
They're making so much money at the grocery store, and they just keep getting richer while the rest of us go poor.
It's a great way to deliver a message.
Danny Bailey directed the music video. He hopes the song strikes a chord for all Canadians.
We want everyone in the country to feel the pain with us. They're already feeling the pain. We're going to add a little comedic value to bring the thought and the story to the top.
And the price of the fruits and vegetables, it knocked me off of my feet.
The video has been seen more than 26,000 times online. Proof its message isn't falling on deaf ears.
By using comedy and satire, he's actually getting the message further than if he was just going to do a straight-ahead song. When you use humor, it kind of brings people together rather than divide them.
For Westfall, making music has never been about division, but rather inspiring change one tune at a time.
There's something funny going on here at the grocery store.
Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
Sandy McDonald joins me here at Jackson Park on a very hot day, but this particular plant doesn't do too badly under hot, humid, even hot and dry conditions, and it's very unique. Talk to us about its color, its form, and what it can do for us.
Absolutely. So this is common chicory or wild chicory, and we don't have a lot of plants that have sort of a true blue flower, but this is pretty close to true blue. And it is considered a weed or invasive plant here, European origin, and it's very commonly blooming this time of year, and it will tolerate, just as you say, almost any kind of conditions: heat, compacted soil, heavy soils. So we'll see it in lawns and along the roadside. So it's actually a group of plants, the chicories, and some of them are common green vegetables. So some of us may know about radicchio, that beautiful dark red lettuce-like leafy vegetable, a bit on the bitter side. They could be eaten raw or cooked. But one of the greater values of this is in the root. And so in that long root, it has a product called inulin, which is a kind of resistant starch-like material. It's very slightly sweet, but it's very good for our digestive system, a kind of pre- and probiotic, and so very healthy for us. It adds a touch of sweetness and also can bulk up some foods where we don't want to put lots of sugars in them. So it also can be used as a coffee substitute or a coffee adulterant as well. And it does have a nice flavor. When harvested, dried, roasted, it could be a good coffee substitute, and there is no caffeine in it. You have to know what you're looking at. There are toxic plants, there are beneficial plants, so please everyone, make perfect identification. Gary here can identify loads of things for you. If you see him, he can probably send you in the right direction. So
Sandy's very complimentary as well, no doubt. Sandy McDonald, thank you for your expertise. We'll see you next week for another edition of Get Gardening.
Kate Otterbein joining me now. Kate, it's almost time to check in on what's happening now. So my question is, what does a driver do if they accidentally turn onto the Gordie Howe International Bridge?
That's a great question, Steph, and lucky for you, we'll have the answer coming right up.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Downtown Windsor is revving up for the 11th annual Olette Car Cruise, August the 14th. Experience a jaw-dropping lineup of street rods, muscle cars, classics, customs, and more. See you next time on Our Community.
Kate, there's still so much to learn about the Gordie Howe International Bridge. A lot of people excited for August 5th, but the OPP has some advice for drivers who end up on the bridge by accident. We know it's going to happen. Actually, it already has happened.
Yeah, and you know, it's very easy to do with all of the border crossings pretty much. The OPP says to be aware of the signs. The last exit from the 401 before the bridge is Ojibwe Parkway. Police say if you miss the exit, do not panic and do not make a U-turn or reverse down the highway. Drivers should continue to the toll booths, and then the Bridging North America officers will let you out at a gate. OPP also has a reminder about speed limits. They drop from 100 kilometers an hour to 80 at Huron Church Road, and then drops again to 50 at the Ojibwe exit before drivers make the sweeping right turn to go onto the bridge. Check out all your local news updates online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have an online story, Kate, that residents might want to take a very close look at.
Yes, it's another long weekend, and that means another open and closed article from CTV. We have a full list for hours in Windsor, Essex, and Chatham, Kent. It includes mall hours, post offices, library branches, pools and splash pads, marinas, as well as garbage and recycling collections. Take a close look. There's a lot of information on there for you. And in our social spotlight tonight, a shelter kitten in Ohio is going viral after workers crafted a tiny device from rulers and Hot Wheels to help the little guy walk. The Cincinnati Animal Care Shelter says the kitten named Gelato was unable to stand or walk on his own when he arrived. Gelato was too small for their available devices, so vet tech got crafty, attaching rulers and zip ties and a pair of Hot Wheels toy ambulances. How fitting. The shelter shared Gelato's DIY ride, and to no one's surprise, the internet fell in love with him. How can you not? Gelato has also been since been upgraded from Hot Wheels to custom wheels, and he is sporting a better fitting 3D printed ride. Look at that little face.
Oh my God, 3D print. It's amazing. This whole story is amazing. I love it. Being Italian, his name is Gelato, so that's incredible. Yeah. Like cherry on the top. But so adorable.
And so tiny.
I know.
Cute.
And obviously to see, you know, a little kitten in need like that and thinking outside of the box. And it obviously was a challenge to build that together. So overall, a great thing to end off Friday with. So thank you.
For sure. And using the degree to the fullest.
Okay. And yeah, if anyone, if people at home have video like this one or of any of your pets, because we love animals here, how can they send it to us?
You can email it to newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
And that's what's happening now. Thank you, Kate. Coming up, a lesson in laughter, friendship, and making every moment count. Rita joins us again for a final look at the weather tonight. Rita.
That's right, Steph. Let's take a quick look at your Enercare 7-day forecast. 28 degrees tomorrow, mostly cloudy. The chance of showers is there throughout the day Saturday with some chances for some embedded thunderstorms. It does intensify Sunday morning as that cold front pushes through. We will be dealing with scattered thunderstorms as well. Good news is Civic Day holiday Monday looks to be dry, nice mix of sun and cloud. And then Tuesday we have mainly sunny conditions, very summer-like, 28 degrees, nice mix of sun and cloud both Wednesday and Thursday. The chance for showers starts to push in late day Thursday into Friday. So once we get through this weekend, we are expecting to dry out. Stefanie?
Okay, thank you, Rita. Now, you don't have to go far from home to have a great adventure. CTV's Adam Swansky meets a group of seniors searching for a sweet treat, and they end up finding something even better.
We find our heroes, these octogenarians and their caregivers, in the midst of a quest.
We're going for a walk in the wind to look for blackberries.
Their journey, stretching more than one whole back alley block, features resilient gardens and is fueled by fun.
And we come here to have fun and be silly.
Sue says that means telling the sorts of bad jokes that always make this bunch feel better.
Lots of laughter. Yeah.
Lots of bouquet building, too, until, like all great adventures, our explorers face an unexpected detour.
One of the trees over here is a wish tree.
While Aria directs them to a tree blooming with others' wishes, our heroes are inspired to reflect on their own.
I wish.
Lee, along with Vic and David, wish to ease what physically ails them and to have more days ahead of them than behind. But they also wish for you to realize, far sooner than they did, what life is really all about.
I think to make the most that you can of every moment.
And make sure that as many of those moments as you can are spent with the ones you love the most.
And to be kind as often as you can.
And when life doesn't unfold the way you'd hoped, like when your quest for blackberries leads to only unripened red ones,
Be cheerful and happy because there's no point in being otherwise.
and seeing as they've traveled so far, why not summon the courage to bite into one of those berries anyway?
How's it doing?
How is it?
Very sour.
Really, really sour.
Crunchy.
A feeling that ends up being far sweeter than the alternative.
It made us all giggle.
Made us laugh.
Yeah.
And that's what life is about.
And that's how, after turning a seemingly fruitless quest into a fruitful one, our heroes embark back home victorious. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
How sweet. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca. We will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11 o'clock.